All right, this gonna make a part two of this. I'm gonna put part two on this. I had difficulty with so I got a little battery on right now. Um, what else I was saying is that y'all sitting here criticizing that man in them block comments right now. So I don't feel like doing comments when I'm talking. Is that it's silly that you brought this man and he ain't did nothing to you. And so I don't care if folks get mad, call me. So y'all self-hate because you don't believe one drop of black DNA equals a person having any fucking freedom. You all in y'all business and someone else's business trying to tell someone where to live their lives, and it gets on my damn nerves. Who did that? Hold on. I heard a big old noise. Anyway, the best point is it don't make no sense in y'all and people's business. Hold up, y'all, something going on here. Put my glasses on. I just heard a big noise. Alright. What I was saying is that, yeah, let me go with this live stream. Okay. Keep an eye open. But still, truth of the matter is, it don't make any sense for y'all to criticize this man. He ain't did nothing to y'all. He ain't do nothing to you to the point that you can just bash this man, make fun of him, and tell him he should stay where he is. Because I bet those who saying that, half y'all was making jokes, English and Spanish, of any community, African American descent or Hispanic, and we were making fun of the man way before calling him like a monkey and everything. I bet y'all was saying that, but all of a sudden, this man make a drastic change and y'all all in y'all feelings. I just get on, it's a hypocrisy, especially in the United States, because it's mostly, I know this criticism is coming from the United States. And no one doesn't respect anybody African DNA. That's why you have Latinos when I want to mention they have African DNA. So it's kind of weird that, and then when you do mention that you are mixed with something, which is very true, because none of us are pure black, we consider self-hating, we're not self-hating, because we don't live with a white master say-so mess. But you hate white man at the same time. I don't understand that scenario. And if white folks don't see me or anybody of African descent who is mixed with different races as mixed, we shouldn't even include those individuals in our circles. No, I live that way. No, if you don't respect who I am, we don't come together. Okay, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, I reversed that mess, and I ain't letting that white man decide for me. Then slavery died a long time ago. Then Jim Crow they got rid of Jim Crow in 1964. Then also too they got rid of one drop rule in 1967. A lot of folks didn't broadcast that situation during time. So I know the whole game. Y'all want to talk about Garvey? I'm gonna declare something about Garvey, y'all. I don't follow that man. You can call me coon. You can call me whatever you want to. But the man was a coon. Was it in June 25th or 22nd of 1922? He had a meet with the Ku Klux Klan. And he thanked them for Jim Crow. The same Jim Crow race of folks again lynched, hung, and everything else. And separate but equal, but didn't give that money. And that's why W. Du Bois called his ass out, which I'm on the Du Bois side. Because he was for us having freedom. And so, and I don't get the idea of you using someone who wants to stomp black someone's life. And I'm glad that no, I don't like Hoover either. J. Edgar Hoover was also part black and also ashamed of it, and also too show a lot of self-hate by killing people of African descent. That does sound like folks within the African American and Hispanic community, don't it? Yeah, the same people that's criticizing that private side kill a nigga, kill him a yate, whether it be of African or Hispanic descent, whether it be a brother down the street who want to intimidate another brother, or a Latino who say they ain't got black in them. I just don't understand this whole situation here, but you want to criticize someone that bleaching their skin. But you do more self-hate, call yourself a nigger, if you love the black part of you so bad that we refrain from that fucking word, because you would, like I said on my other video, you would not hear people calling themselves derogatory names who are proud of themselves in other groups. Why the hell you choose that word? But then it come from a slave master's mouth, cause nigga is a misspelling of the word nigger. There's no definition changing right there. Tupac got shot behind it. Let's call it like it is, being a thug, aka the white man's nigga. Okay? Yes, I did go there. If you portray a negative image in your life, it comes on, it follows your ass. And in my heart, I like his music, but I'm sorry. No, don't sign contracts with someone who's a devil in the industry, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. But the point is, you know what I mean? But when Frost said devil, and we know who we're talking about, I know exactly what he's talking about in that video. You know, like Chicano rapper. Okay, he talking about somebody who killed Easy. Yes, okay, I know exactly what he's talking about. But point is, the same devil that was working for white racist people, being devils, whether being Gentile or Jew or atheist, whatever they faith they believe in or not, who want to explore African American people, who actually taught folks to hate themselves by calling themselves niggas, looking like Steppin' Fletcher and jigaboos and coons and back in the minstrel show days. And that's what you see flooding down the street, paying, Hank, sagging, looking. I'm like, that's what we're proud of who you are? No, the hell ain't. But y'all clown Sammy Sosa. It don't make no sense. A lot of y'all are hypocrites in both communities put together. One don't want to mention any black DNA in them because they came out exotic looking and just speak a different language. And the ones who come in different shades like to use a partial blackness in a negative way and call it proud of who they are. Say the word, instead of saying natural, what is it, natural hair, they try to use nappy. Well, why use the word nap? And instead of using positive words to describe who you are, it's just a walking contradiction right there. Yeah, you talking about who can they wear this and that. I just don't know. Both communities who are criticizing Sammy Sosa, I'm sorry, I want to offend people, but it seems very full of shit, pinche muera. Because instead of you trying to examine the whole issue, instead you just want to throw rocks and run, and next time you throw rocks and run, I reminded me of times you made fun of dark-skinned people of that complexion. I don't want his black ass in my family. Oh yeah, I heard folks say that too. Black ass, black ass. But you get mad. Oh, he changing his color. He should be proud of who he is. But you didn't make him feel proud of who he is the way how you treated him. Dumbass. Shoot. At least he ain't screaming loud and acting a fool like Rashida Strover. Shit. Or Thomas something like yo. But y'all sitting here making fun of Sammy Sosa. Sammy Sosa, I don't care. That's his damn life. Let him live his vivi su vida la. Okay, like Mark Anthony said in his song. Okay, let him do him. You do you. Go ahead and choose what hueritas and güeros, high yellows and yellow bones. Choose pudding, light and creams, the black and white one, the madre perla, creams, and put blue contact on lenses in your eyes. Blonde weave, dye your hair blonde, look like Rubia blonde. Do all that stuff. Choose Latin men that look close to white. Choose brothers who look close to white. Choose sisters who look close to white. Choose Latinas who look close to white. Continue to do that mess. Okay? Treat those who are darker than you less than who they are. And those who are lighter, better in the communities. Continue to watch them soap operas, novellas, who have close to white people on here. Yes. Continue to make fun of folks who look Native American. no say India way and all other stuff, and negrito, pinche, and all the pietos and pietas and all this, and pelo malo and all that. Continue to do that shit. Continue to go ahead and support gang ethnic warfare for white people to kill both communities in this black identified versus brown shit. Continue to defend George Zimmerman, Brian Acina, okay? Officer Yanez, Ryla Verriora. Continue to make them jokes with George Lopez. Remember when Mariah Carey read his DNA test? I should check black, but a couple years later, oh, don't park in my car and don't bring nobody black. Okay, because you know why? Because I'm darker than my grandmother. Yes, because George Lopez's grandmother is a little bit lighter than him. And she ain't one of them kids looking Pietro. All right, so anyway, so I'm gonna put the chat back on there. Phone went dead again, so I'm still charged. I'm gonna put my phone down, so I want to hold the charge and won't come out. Okay, it's out the socket of the phone, but continue and to talk about those things. I'm talking about those in the community who in both communities who making fun of Sammy Sosa, because at the end of the day, y'all treat blackness as a disease anyway. You talk about he a nigga. Here, nothing positive in your content about someone being black. It's like, okay, they black, stay in a pot of negativity. And don't take them out the negativity and get them to be adjusted to it. That's what I see in this community. A bunch of crab barrel mentality, and don't really care about the community, not trying to put money in the community. One thing I was so funny, I was defending the OJ Simpson situation. I do defend OJ. Um, he did his time, he get parole, let him get parole, okay? But I was on Crime Thoughts, whatever it's called, on the YouTube channel, and they was making fun of this man. He said he's not black, he not OJ. Even if I don't think he did say that in an interview about that, because I read the book. Not that if he did it, it's the other book before that, the one that came out when he was locked up in like in 94, 95, where he mentioned his mixed background, where he mentioned all this other stuff, and he mentioned the letters, the threatening letters and racist letters came from both the African American and white community, bashing him. And y'all never treat people with African DNA with people of freedom, okay? You defend the injustice of an African American person, but you want to get mad for not hanging around. I'm gonna tell you the reason why that I'm assuming OJ would not hang around those of African before this whole Nicole Simpson situation. It's because a lot of some of our people do believe that since they have one drop of black blood, you're supposed to stay in one spot and don't move up and keep and be down and don't move. Okay, stay there, just being there and be put. But you want to why about why we don't have stores and we don't have this progress. If you stay in a pot that your enemy puts you in, you would never be successful in life. Second of all, O.J. Simpson, I noticed that I'm assuming that he probably distanced himself from those African because when he was trying to invite them to, and I've been in a situation, trying to have an integrated crowd where you have your African American people, Hispanic, your white, and everybody else get along. I'm not going with the white folks, and they're trying to need sometimes be white folks who are not the racist ones who try to open opportunities for you in order for you to have economic success. Automatically, I'm not hanging with them people. Okay, so my point is that when he was trying to progress, you had Kravis and Barrel who would not want him to progress because he had one drop of black DNA. He should stay in his place. Those the Negroes who claim to be pro-black when they're actually anti-black because they don't care about the African American person of white DNA, Native American, dark, like whatever, having any success in the individual success at one because they can't control them like white man used to do. Okay, that's the whole reason why. So in this case, everybody was talking about how that he never gave the community anything. What I did say that he did fight the justice system and won. And let me say the reason why I defended O.J. Simpson. Back in 20-some years ago, I did not have no opinion about the O.J. Simpson trial. I did not want to be in that black versus white situation. And at the time, I was learning about multiracial background, so of course I didn't want to get involved in that. Okay, back when I was in my 20s, I was in teens, excuse me, back 20 years ago. What got me to believe that he was innocent was a video. It's on YouTube, and it's not a made-up video. It's actually a factual video that after the case by Dr. Johnson about Serpent's Rise, I got to get that book. And in parts of that book or that documentary, it shows that on Fox News, they had revealed that OJ did not kill Nicole because, and even Geraldo Rivera, his porcho ass, who's part Puerto Rican. Those that were Mexicans don't like us, Puerto Ricans do. That Puerto Rican who's part Puerto Rican and Jewish, Rivera, Melchista, Puerto Rican version of Melchista and Pocho way, that Pocho coon does not even like your ass, and he's part of the NAACP. Yes, he is. And on Fox News, lucky they can his ass, or they can Blaxican Stacey Dash on Fox News. They about to do it, but Donald Trump did when he was Lisa Gibbons in that Apprentice. Yes, he did. I'm forgetting. I was laughing when Lisa Gibbons won that white woman. She smiled and won that Apprentice, and Robert Rivera was all crying. I'm like, no, you're the lady. Like Anna Barbara was saying that song. Okay. Well, anyway, DLG, lágrimas lloré con tu partida. Okay. Anyway, DLG's Dark Latin Blue, they're New Yorkers. Okay, you know, y'all don't with the music. Point is, when he was in there and on bashing OJ in that video, he does mention the phone records. The phone records prove that OJ Simpson was on the plane to Chirac, aka Chi-Town, aka Chicago, when Nicole was talking to her mom before she was killed. Now, I'm sorry. When I saw that, I said, oh, well, that can't be that he killed her, because how can he be in the same spot in L.A. killing somebody? But the phone records show that, and also the plane ticket show he was in Chirac, going to Chi-Town. That can't happen unless he's Superman, which is, I've never met no human being being a Superman. Okay. Change unless he change to different spots and be like he being some superhero. But unfortunately, in human reality, we don't have that going on. Okay, that's comic book situation. O.J. Simpson was not there when Nicole got killed because he's on the plane. So that lets you know he didn't kill him. So that's why I got upset, because I said, well, actually, this whole shebang is more like the Birth of the Nation movie back in 1920s, supporting the segregation was Silas Lynch. I did a video about that a couple years back in 2014, okay, because 3 years of that murder case. And I said that OJ did not do it, and I had 3 people. I've got the other white guy name, but Glenn Rogers and also Jose's son, Jason, because Jason from Marguerite, his first wife that he had, and Nicole did not get along. And he had psychological situation where he was in the jail for trying to attack his boss. He cut the light-skinned chick who's part white and part black. She had long hair. They got into an argument. The night they said the same night that he killed Nicole with, same night that he chopped her hair off with. When I saw this, and he was mad because Sydney, the daughter that OJ had with Nicole, had a recital. They went to Montezuma, whatever the restaurant, instead of going to the restaurant where Jason worked at, and he went to go look for Nicole. And so to confront Nicole, and that's when he stabbed her. And the reason why you saw African hair texture DNA, and they don't know whether it's OJ or not, because the son, males, we carry 2 chromosomes. Female carry 1 chromosome, and that's the female chromosome. And if you're related and your hair texture is similar to your father or the same, they're not going to know what it is you or them, because y'all both related. It makes sense. So 9-10, Jason Simpson is the one that killed Nicole, along with Glenn Rogers, the white guy that was in it. I believe that, in my opinion, I can't say, I believe both of them got together and killed both Ron Goldman, because someone have a knife. Where was Nicole's or a gat, as they say, the gat in the 1990s, we called it a gun, okay? Because as soon as you come to my damn house, if I was Nicole, waiting on somebody, have your pistol ready in case somebody come in. But at the same time, a lot of folks know, besides the racial issue that people made a big hoopla with, Nicole, OJ, Faye Resnick, all them people, Ron Goldman was all invoked in Gene Rock, Glenn Rock, whatever his name is. They was all connected with their sex and drugs and shit. And a lot of folks don't understand that Reebok OG is not so open about that because 19 he participated in them sex and drugs, and 19 is going to shock and actually shock people. So to defend his son, I'm sorry, me, I want to let all the tea know if I had Superhead in my bed before the murder. Okay, let me tell everybody, just being joking, Kareem Stuff was in my bed before the murder happened, okay? If I had threesomes and orgies, okay, and I got high, okay, OJ, tell it all so we can know your innocence. As they say, tell the truth, shame the devil, okay? The reason why I'm bringing this OJ thing up because everybody said, well, he didn't put money into me. He went with that white bitch and ended married with her, and he did this and that. And I unsubscribed from Crime Thoughts because of that dog. That's the name of the YouTube channel. Because of their doggone live stream making all this racial stuff, and I said that and he didn't like his this and that. I said, well, OJ's mixed and he not black and OJ, because actually I disagree with the whole shebang about the whole black of OJ thing, because in that book. I'm about Let Me Tell It. It's called Let Me Tell It, something like that. It came out in 1994, and in that book, y'all, OJ never mentioned it in that book back in 1994 and 95. So why is this whole claim this coming up now? This was all made up for Hollywood and TV to make OJ think that he hated his blackness. OJ is a one-dropper when it comes to his identity, not to his kids he had from Nicole. OJ acknowledged that he is white and black on his dad's side, as I read in the book, and also he has Native American and black, which Eunice Simpson, excuse me, she has a look. Native American look. Eunice Simpson, excuse me, she has a native look along with black Native American black mixture in her phenotype. OJ have a little bit of that, high cheekbone. Skin tone is caramel, not dark chocolate. OJ has thin lips like a white man, and that came from his dad's side of the family, because I think the dad's from New Orleans. If it's southern white DNA, it probably not all that Anglo, it probably be Creole, okay? So, that makes a lot of sense. And so OJ is a multiracial man, but a black identity, and looks more black to society. Okay? So, the reason I'm bringing this up about the OJ, though, folks got off the chat room because I talked about OJ. It's all good because I'm not worried about it. Because people was the same thing I asked them, the question I like to ask, you talking about he didn't build community. Sammy Sosa didn't build no community. Was Sammy Sosa broke barriers within the Latino and African American descendant community by him being African DNA. And the problem is I have this because Sammy Sosa has never been in any scandal except for that steroid scandal. Okay, Sammy Sosa have always showed a good character himself. Regardless if he had changed his, which he has, but he was bleaching skin or not, I always admired Sammy Sosa, whether he was the dark chocolate self or his pale look now. And if I was to interview Sammy Sosa, I wouldn't bash this man because that's him. Once again, that is not my body. And just because you belong to a certain racial group, you have no right to tell another person what can they do with their own body. Okay, and that nonsense gotta go. White folks can go tell. I mean, yes, they do that, but when it comes to skin tanning, the $1 billion industry, okay, you don't see coolers playing, knocking on people's doors and telling folks, when you go to the beach today, don't you tan, keep your white complexion, be proud of your complexion, okay? You don't hear that, okay? So my question is, why is it a problem with the people? Because half the people I'm looking at, they have probably said something negative about someone that complexion is darker than theirs or whatever, but you want to bash this man and treat him unkindly because he did a decision to himself, but not to you. He didn't tie you up dump bleaching cream on you and try to make you look white. He did this to himself, and I'm an individualistic person, I'm not a collective person. And I feel that people should defend people's freedom, even if they disagree with it. So funny we have pro-choice when it comes to killing babies, but we're not pro-choice when it comes to physiques. Okay? People changing their physique. I mean, everybody was all defending Caitlyn Jenner. Okay? And I'm more, that's a person's choice if they want to change their gender. But I would never want to change mine. I'm happy that I have a penis, okay? And that penis was there made for me to create with a woman when I get married, okay? So let's be real. But at the same time, that's between me and that person and God when it comes to gender, because it's the reproductive organ, okay? The skin tone is a that's got nothing to do, if that's what he wants to do with his body. I'm not going to sit here and bother the man. I'm not going to mess him up. If I can go to the white man at the tan salon and harass his ass, I shouldn't do that with him. Okay? Regardless who went through who, and then there are people in Latino community who do not want to indulge their black roots, but ain't none of y'all call themselves haters. And I'm not talking about the ones from the Caribbean. The Mexican people, many of them have black in them. There were more slaves that went to Mexico than the United States. And they did not get killed off by Mendoza, who was one of the Spaniards. That happened in Mexico City, but many of the other Afro-Mexicans mixed and married, and some even had children out of wedlock. Some was even raped. They were slaves by the slave master in Spain. From Spain, excuse me, in Nueva España, a.k.a. Cologne, Mexico, New Spain. And the problem is I have with this, because one thing I get bothers me, and I'm not here to bash Latinos. I'm mixed with Spanish Creole, so it makes me part Hispanic too. And before I knew it, I was already in Latin culture, not being a cultural appropriator, no, admiring it, okay? But found out that it was in my roots, last year. What I find about the hypocrisy within the Hispanic community is that the idea of hating African American people for mejor de raza means to better the race. And that's what you have Giannis doing, and Zimmer was doing, and Brian Essena was doing, Sandra Bland. These gang members in whether it be East Coast or West Coast who do not like African American descendant people in the barrios are doing. That's what this whole idea is doing, denying the black part. Okay, love the native, but don't even check that. To check the white part. I don't understand that. Well, it said white was, well, they did that mistake to put you in the country as a legal citizen. But you did not get treated like white people during the Jim Crow days. Even when LULAC did not want to do with NAACP until what? Till later on. And to not the multiracial category. That's the funniest thing. 20 years ago, we were supposed to have multiracial category on the census, okay, 2000, okay? We don't have it because of the minority civil rights groups who don't focus on building the bridge in the communities, but they focus on a multiracial category that does not kill people, okay? It actually unites people and let folks know who they really are. Back in the 20s or 30s, LULAC here in Texas didn't want nothing to do with NAACP. Also, to beg the government to say keep white on it and not have Spanish on there as their identity. And the reason why we have black on brown racism, because you have Latinos who during the Jim Crow movement in certain parts of the South was able to sit on the white tables. Yes, they had what's it called? Signs say no Negroes or no niggers and Mexicans and dogs. Okay? But you had those white folks who were liberal racists, not true white racists, who would choose a Latino over the African American person. And here in Texas, yes, it's very true that Latinos were the first one to open the integration in the schools when they had Mendez versus Westheimer. Mendez versus Westheimer, mistake in that case. They allowed Mexican and other Latino Latinos to go to white schools, okay, before brown versus education. Okay, a lot of folks do not know the history, but you had white. I never forget, one of my relatives was telling me that they would be sitting on the bus, and a Latino was saying how they were white, Mexican person, how they were white, and they don't like niggers and this and that on the white side. But when the civil rights movement came in, here comes the Chicano movement comes in. Okay. And the funny part is, when I talk to Latinos who did grew up in them days with white people, they would tell me they could not speak Spanish. They couldn't practice their culture. They would get spanked or whooped at home for speaking Spanish or doing anything their origin, of their ethnic or multiracial origin, should I say. There's not all that white Anglo. All that stuff. White folks will bullying them, for not wearing shoes to school, to looking poor, living in private areas, and while white folks living way better than them. Okay? So the hypocrisy, I bring this up a lot. Then you have those who would talk about they're for the community, but do not be for the community. I'm talking about individuals. I'm not talking about in generalizations. I'm talking about individuals. You have those like they will sit here and this was one thing I tell people, because I have a lot of Latino friends and associates, and a lot of African people say, I hate black folks, but I said one thing was, I screen people mentally. I don't let folks know how I look at signs, look at body languages, and if I know someone's not feeling me the way, I will separate myself from that person. And the reason I'm talking like this, y'all, because I have the phone down changing. Okay, changing charges, charging the phone on my bad, okay? So I mean to not focus on the camera. But the silly part is, the Latinos that they're saying this will check white on the census and don't even look white. Don't even mention native. Talk, when I was in El Paso, the Tigua, I already knew about the Tiguas, Native Americans, who many of them are mixed with Mexican as well, even though there's another Native American mixture. The Native American Tigua people had a lot of discrimination with Chicanos. A lot of Chicanos in El Paso for years looked bad on the Tigua people in El Paso, Texas. For real. And I read this from Joe Avetta, who talked about the Alamo, okay, being part of slavery. That Chicano brother, the God rest his soul, who revealed that back in the 90s, that the Alamo was about slavery and Mexican black folks and the American people who were part black across the Rio Grande. I read that already with Roberto Rodriguez, who wrote that in Houston Post back in 1993. And I read that. But Joe Avetta was a good writer from El Paso who talked about these issues. And he talked about the Tigua Reservation. And I'll never forget, when I went to El Paso, I felt at home, because when I was in Tigua Reservation, because that's a non-black mixture, was told to me by my dad. The first one before the white, and the other was Native American. So that I grew up being proud of both the black and Native American in me. Then I have to find out more about me and the white and everything else later on. But when I went there, I felt at home. And I never forget, I met Mexican people who look native, okay, will make fun of Tigua people and say, Indians, they'll take your woman. I remember hearing that, okay? Then also, too, I don't like the Indian people, I don't like the Tiguas, and they look native themselves. Silly. When I had friends who was from Arizona, and they were talking about the Native American people in Arizona, New Mexico, drinking. All them Indians get drunk real good. But you have people make fun of the Mexican people getting drunk too. Okay, another subject. Point is, it's like, if it doesn't look close to white, or it's not right, and that does happen in the community. Rosa Perez was talking about the view with the Rockland Yoga situation, called Michelle Bone, the Planet Apes. That is a secret Latin community, and it's like this idea that anything that's close to Espanol, close to Blanco, is bueno. Anything that's indígena or negro, I'm going to use moreno, that I prefer to use. Anyone Africano is son malo. It's son malos. And that because the Spaniards at the time, I'm going to say this, who were being savages in those areas, was calling Native American and African savages. So you have Latinos who would prefer the native, and let me tell you the reason why. When they acknowledge the people as white, classify them as white falsely when they actually are mixed. A lot of some of these Hispanic people pick up white racist mentality, picked up ideologies from white racist people about African American people. And so you have, like here in Texas, we go on Facebook, you have the Trump support Latinos. They grew up with grandparents who taught them don't bring a black person home because they knew by them having African DNA, if they admit it, the one drop rule will make them black, and they also will have the disadvantages of being black in the United States. A lot of folks do not know that. LULAC, which I have a lot of issues with LULAC on this version, and NAACP, the new version of it, came together back in 1990s against a multiracial category. I know the organization who was starting in the multiracial category, there was linked with interracial voice, and a lot of folks did not know that a lot of Latinos and African American people was going against this multiracial category because in both communities we both have multiracial mixtures. We are black, white, Native American together. I mean, if there was a category that says triracially black, white, Native American, all of us in our communities would be checking this category, whether you speak Spanish or English. But unfortunately, we let the white racist ideology to tell us who we are. And that's one thing I get railroad of. If I don't let white men tell me who I am and I don't live it, I hate myself, which is that's not true. I love myself when I don't let the enemy define me. Keyword, okay? But there was whining about the multiracial category would lose numbers in the African American population and the Hispanic population, okay? Because both communities, I'm sorry to say this, are black, white, Native American mix. One looks more African, more looks exotic and non-African. You have those who look like African as well. And those an opposite. Okay? The problem is that we always talk about black and brown racism. We're going to go into the nitty-gritty of it. And the idea is because that white category within Latinos, many Latinos who grew up in the day, and not just Mexicans, even the Puerto Ricans coming in the United States, were adapting to this white category and saying they were better than black people too. That did happen. The difference between New York, because in New York is more liberal, multiculturalism is taught and enforced in schools, and they try to see a similarity within the students or in the public compared to in the West Coast and the South. In the West Coast, yes, the multiculturalism, the diversity act, the multiracial category is very vivid in California, okay? But the problem is minorities in those areas believe that they're not racist because of what happened to them back in the day, even if they were classified as white, okay? You have people who came from the Chicano movement who were being criminal, and also those the Black Panther were being criminals who made their own gangs, because it wasn't just the white people and white police officers they had to worry about. It was also other people in their barrios and ghettos who was attacking them too. A lot of folks don't see this. Then during that time, a lot of white people in the suburb of California, those who are liberal and those who are racist. Racist people did not give a shit about minorities of African American or Hispanic descent. But it was gang problems in both communities. It was getting big. People was getting shot. And this problem was going on in the 70s before it reached here in Texas and other places in the 80s and 90s with the crack epidemic and the green sling in the 90s. Okay? A lot of people don't know that the reason why the gangs were formed in prison, because white people who are prisoners will go rape black identified prisoners, and also Hispanic prisoners. So they had to form their own little cliques. Okay? A lot of folks do not know that when the disadvantages in both when remember these communities like Compton, LA, um, um, East LA, what else? Those other communities, um, Inglewood, South Central. These were white communities that minorities moved in later on, and when minorities moved in the red zone later, I'm sure you saw how the ghettos formed. They stopped funding those communities. And as the communities, if the city's not getting this proper management and money, you have gang members and people trying to take care of them. And remember, these folks sometimes are uneducated, and the only thing they know is how to survive like on the street. So they had to turn to gang banging and drug dealing. But remember, there's no black and Hispanic person that owns airplanes. So where are they getting the drugs and the guns from? They're getting it from people within those cities, CIA, 910, to destroy both communities. In one period of time, African American people and Hispanic people were doing this together. Okay? Not all, but those in drug gang. It got dirty when white race came into the divide because they knew they'd be outnumbered by those two minority groups, and that the minority groups will turn against white people for what they did back to them, even though they were classified as white and when it was not the one drop rule. Okay? So the thing they did was a conquer divide. They'll treat a Latino person better or treat an African American person. And one thing I know what white people do, who are racist, will go to a Hispanic person. Yeah, that nigger, that, I can't stand niggers. You know, don't like this and that. Do you hate niggers too? Oh, yes, I hate them. Mayates, this and that. Then they go to an African American person. Oh, you know, them websites taking our jobs and then they taking our jobs and all this other stuff. You trying to get a job. You're right, they are taking our jobs. They should go back this and go to Mexico. The white people do this shit to races, to minorities. And then here it goes. Well, he say, she said this about this person here. And next thing you're fighting because, oh, you called me whatever, you called me a nigga. What motherfucker? I'm gonna beat you, I'm gonna kill your mother. Yo, why don't you go jump the bull? You this and that, all that. Okay. You dumb folks of color did not realize the white people was trying to get you set up so you can kill each other, fight each other in prison, even lose your manhood and rape each other in prison. That's the sickest thing in the world. I call me a faggot. Point is, never came to that situation, okay? But y'all doing this shit, selling poison in your communities, drugs, all them things in the community. You're poisoning your own raza, your own people, okay? And fighting over this situation of something stupid, but both of you are genetically are related. You have Spanish and African Native American in you. You have white Native American and black in you. And you look different due to whoever married or whoever made baby in the family, okay? Light skin, dark skin, hair, curly, so-called good hair, so-called bad hair, whatever. Bella, mala, bella, winter, whatever. Pieto, wera, whatever, okay? Yellow, bone, whatever, okay? All right? You sit here fighting of some bullshit. And the reason I bring this up about the Sammy Sosa because that has a lot to do with that. At the same time, if I see these people who do that shit still doing it, you hate Mayates, but you're making fun of Sammy Sosa. Okay? You hate Latinos, but at the same time, they have African DNA in them too. And then too, you want to bash Sammy Sosa for bleaching his skin, but 9 out of 10, those African American community would not treat someone like that with respect and call him old black ass nigga. Because they hit it all the time in the hood. That black ass nigga, he blacker than tall, this and that, all these jokes. So my question is to y'all in both communities, fix your life up first before you start throwing rocks at somebody. And then two, when I mentioned the anti-black racism in the Latin community, I was educated about it because before I start making a rash judgment, you have to do your research only on the educational level, not the street level, y'all, okay? Not the ghetto area, okay? You gotta realize where all this stuff is coming from, okay? And then two, you have those even in the East Coast who are Puerto Rican and Dominican, and also Mexicans is the third largest growing Latino community in New York. You have those who do not even choose darker mates. You have those who also choose their females who are lighter than the other. That goes in the Mexican American community as well. So I don't understand how people can bash somebody who, if they did have self-hatred in them, they was trying to feel better about themselves in the world that y'all created. And then you bash them at the same time, which I don't understand that situation. In 1 minute he's black as tar, he should not get no type of love and respect. And then when he bleaches skin, he still don't get love and respect. So I don't get with this whole argument. You love black people. Where was y'all talking this mess that Ciudad Negro es son bueno con que blanco and all the other stuff when the man was dark complected? Where was all this talk back then? But as soon as it's drastic change, butthurt cries and tears and lagrimas come out, and oh yes, we should love the black person in the family and they're beautiful and oh yeah, all that hypocrisy, I will call it out because it's very hypocritical. Okay. And I know y'all said, well, you say you're not dark. Well, I'm not dark chocolate. I mean, I'm camera skin, very proud. Even though this white shirt makes me a little darker with it, okay? But at the end of the day, I'm not going to go and be bamboozled with your idea of what you want black as to be proud. Because half y'all who teach black pride as in having black DNA. Stay at the bottom of the pit. Don't advance yourself. Be stereotypical that white racist people create to make yourself look terrible. Call yourself the N-word. That's not black pride. And then try to tell your people what to do like like they still on a plantation. That is not black pride, y'all. I'm not calling it like it is. I'm not gonna sit here and defend something that someone needs to talk about. And I'm kind of like it is. And I call out all this junk out on my video because for years I have seen the contradiction over and over and over and over. But soon someone do a drastic change. Oh, we love you then. You shouldn't did that. But you didn't see all that when they were not with themselves. Silly. And I know everybody mad. You mad, bro? Mad, sis? Mad, everybody? Come on now. The man has not did nothing to you. He changed who he is for himself. And I'm going to treat Sammy Sosa the way how I want to be treated with respect. Sammy Sosa is not saying no niggas. Saying Sosa ain't out here putting acting like Kodak Black and talking about killing niggas and showing a nigga stereotype. And if you are Afro-Latino as that complexion and you want someone to make a legendary platform that doesn't change their complexion, then why don't you be that person in your community and also in the world so they can have another person? Because we all have role models. We all have people that we look up to. But at the same time, if they don't represent you, it is your job to represent you. Do you understand? One thing I heard about in the 2000s and 1990s, and after Martin Luther King was killed and Malcolm X, we only got Al Sharpton. That's only leaders we got is Al Sharpton and just Jackson. Nobody else want to be a leader in the community. But everybody want to be the nigga. Not everybody, but you know what I mean. Folks want to be the nigga and call them niggas and be the step reflections. Okay? And you want to know about folks if they hate being black or they look at that stereotype of you. And y'all don't portray the positive image of being the African American descendant male. No, you portray the negative stereotype, the white race man creating your head that black is. So that's why. But I'm gonna take the hitting chat off right now so I can see the comments what everybody was saying. So I know people left and got mad at me making this big rant. I don't care because I just don't like the hypocrisy. When I see hypocrisy, I'm going to call it out. I don't like the fact that, a man that didn't do anything wrong to people being railroad, but we have white people doing all this stuff. You got folks, the stuff I named, who don't like that, who act like the black part of their roots, or if they are recognized by one drop ideology after it been abolished. Okay, you want to make a negative connotation by being black, calling yourself a nigger, using terms like nappy hair and good hair, and I just don't understand this whole this contradiction, walking contradiction. And two, people treat being black supposed to stay in one limited spot and don't move out of it. And I'm just don't believe in that. I just that's a crowd of barrel move, and I don't care if people don't like it or not. At the end of the day, that man gonna do whatever he want to do with his body. He rich, he don't pay my bills. You know, it ain't like Nookie, what's her name, Jackie O, before she became religious and AKA saved and everything. She was saying her Nookie pay, Sammy so ain't paying my bills, okay? You know what I'm saying? No Juice said, okay? Sorry, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no Sammy so said real good, okay? Y'all know that song from Jackie O, okay? Ain't none y'all, none, so why should I care? You know? I'm more concerned with R. Kelly because there's people in our community that hurting people like that, okay? But I know that people got mad about the OJ thing. I don't care because I don't have that Silas Lynch mentality that y'all have. Y'all want people. Y'all think anybody that got black DNA in them are the savage. So it's kind of like it is. So I really don't care. Really don't care. I'm gone. I'm going to go ahead and do something productive, something different. And thank God for my live chat. Those who left, okay, kudos. It's okay. I'm not mad. Baby, I'm not mad. Bye.